Welcome to the Transitions Daily podcast. Transitions Daily is an online recovery group that offers a daily distribution of popular recovery resources accompanied by a secret Facebook group for discussion. We hope you enjoy today's readings.
This is Transitions Daily for December the 4th, read by Kirsty S. from the East Midlands in the United Kingdom. AA Thoughts for the Day. Rewards. The rewards of sobriety are bountiful and as progressive as the disease they counteract. Certainly, among these rewards for me are release from the prison of uniqueness and the realisation that participation in the AA way of life is a blessing and a privilege beyond estimate. A blessing to live a life free from the pain and degradation of drinking and filled with the joy of useful, sober living, and a privilege to grow in sobriety one day at a time and bring the message of hope as it was brought to me. AA Grapevine, December 2001. Thought to consider. Sobriety is a choice and a treasure. Acronyms. Gifts. Getting it from the steps. Just for today. Gift. Step 12. Having had a spiritual awakening as a result of these steps, we try to carry this message to alcoholics and to practice these principles in all our affairs. When a man or a woman has a spiritual awakening, the most important meaning of it is that he has now become able to do, feel and believe that which he could not do before on his unaided strength and resources alone. He has been granted a gift which amounts to a new state of consciousness and being. He has been set on a path which tells him he is really going somewhere, that life is not a dead end, not something to be endured or mastered. 12 Steps and 12 Traditions, pages 106 and 107. Daily Reflections. Into action. AA is more than a set of principles. It is a society of alcoholics in action. We must carry the message, else we ourselves can wither and those who haven't been given the truth may die. As Bill sees it, page 13. I desperately wanted to live, but if I was to succeed, I had to become active in our God-given program. I joined what became my group, where I opened the hall, made coffee and cleaned up. I had been sober about 3 months when an old-timer told me I was doing 12-step work. What a satisfying realisation that was. I felt I was really accomplishing something. God had given me a second chance. AA had shown me the way, and these gifts were not only free, they were also priceless. Now the joy of seeing newcomers grow reminds me of where I have come from, where I am now, and the limitless possibilities that lie ahead. I need to attend meetings because they recharge my batteries so that I have light when it is needed. I am still a beginner in service work, but already I am receiving more than I am giving. I can't keep it unless I give it away. I am responsible when another reaches out for help. I want to be there, sober. As Bill sees it, random quote, never the same again. It was discovered that when one alcoholic had planted in the mind of another the true nature of his malady, that person could never be the same again. Following every spree, he would say to himself, maybe those AAs were right. After a few such experiences, often before the onset of extreme difficulties, he would return to us convinced. In the first years, those of us who sobered up in AA had been grim and utterly hopeless cases. Then we began to have success with milder alcoholics and even some potential alcoholics. Younger folks appeared. Lots of people turned up who still had jobs, homes, health, and even good social standing. Of course, it was necessary for these newcomers to hit bottom emotionally, but they did not have to hit every possible bottom in order to admit that they were licked. 12 and 12, pages 23 and 24, Under AA Comes of Age, page 199. Big Book Quote. So our troubles, we think, are basically of our own making. They arise out of ourselves, and the alcoholic is an extreme example of self-will run riot, though he usually doesn't think so. Alcoholics Anonymous, 4th edition, How It Works, page 62. 24 hours a day. AA Thought for the Day. If we allow an alcoholic thought to lodge in our minds for any length of time, we are in danger of having a slip. Therefore, we must dispel such thoughts at once, by refusing their admittance and by immediately putting constructive thoughts in their place. Remember that alcohol is poison to you. Remember that it is impossible for you to drink normally. Remember that one drink will lead to others, and you will eventually be drunk. Remember what happened to you in the past as a result of your drinking. Think of every reason you have learned in AA for not taking that drink. Fill your mind with constructive thoughts. Am I keeping my thoughts constructive? Meditation for the day. Always seek to set aside the valuations of the world that seem wrong and try to judge only by those valuations that seem right to you. Do not seek the praise and notice of the world. Be one of those who, though sometimes scoffed at, have a serenity and peace of mind that the scoffers never know. Be one of that band who feel the divine principle in the universe, though he be often rejected because he cannot be seen. Prayer for the day. I pray that I may not heed too much the judgment of the world. I pray that I may test things by what seems right to me. Hazelden Foundation, P.O. Box 176, Centre City, MN 55012. My name is Kirsty, and I'm an alcoholic.
We hope you enjoyed today's readings. You can also receive Transitions Daily via email and discuss today's readings in our secret Facebook group. So for more information, go to dailyaaemails.com today.
Other than the 24 hours a day reading, unless otherwise specified, all quotes copyright Alcoholics Anonymous World Services, Inc., 1952, 1957, 1967, 1973, 1975, 1976, 1980, 1981, 1984, 1985, 1988, 1990, or 2001.